All right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right. Shalom, Yasharallah, shalom, shalom, shalom. Peace is real. Before I get started with this lesson, I got to give all the praises, all the honor, man, and all the glory to our Heavenly Father and His only beloved Son, Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakudash, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahweh Shai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahweh Shai. And the water, Yahweh Shai for another beautiful day. You know what I'm saying? Another blessed day here on this planet Idon. And out the water, Yahweh Shai. For waking me up, waking us up this morning until it's your pa, beautiful, your family, and the water, Yahweh Shai, for His everlasting grace and mercy and favor that He has shown and bestowed upon us here in these last days, and the water, Yahweh Shai, for the spirit of life, the breath of life, the Rakar Kodash, Holy Spirit that He has breathed into our nostrils once more, causing us to remember ourselves again here in the land of our captivities. The water, Yahweh Shai, for my seafoods, the apostles and elders of GMS who rule well, and they teach well, and the branches that teach just like them, and peace and blessings to the Bayab Dawadada, to David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, and Shalom. Yours truly back. One other quick video I wanted to touch up on this, because there's a lot of commotion going on in the West Coast right now. A lot of migrants, so-called immigrants being rounded up. What I'm saying, they're being, I don't know if they're being deported, I don't know. But it's a big protest going on. It should be protests going on all across America. But I guess, this is going on in the West right now, man. But we know these things are going to intensify because it is getting intense. And we are, summer is right around the corner. We did say it was going to be a hot summer, man. It's going to get real hot out here. It's going to get real interesting for the rest of 2025. We know this new digital age is at hand. That's no joke. The beast system. The beast system, bro, is getting ready. They're setting up the beast system, man. So all of these are just birth pains, man. Birth pains, So I got a couple videos. I don't want to make it too long. Let's see what these men talking about in the news. Right, let's do it.
And out of more breaking news out of Los Angeles tonight, where thousands are in the downtown area for a fourth day of protests as the demonstrations have become more violent.
Anti-ICE demonstrators are clashing with law enforcement and setting vehicles on fire downtown. Other videos show people hurling rocks at law enforcement vehicles from above overpasses. Now, within the last hour, we have confirmed 700 Marines from 29 Palms, California, have been ordered to join the 2,000 National Guardsmen already en route to Los Angeles as a response to that violence. Meantime, California Governor Gavin Newsom is pushing back and urging the Trump administration to reverse the deployment.
Let me get you a cold one. Try one of these. That is the best
First
buffalo wing in the
down,
county. You eat
Marines.
buffalo? No, it's just chicken.
So it's getting that bad? They're sending Marines over there too? Damn. Marines and National Guard is over there, right? And then it could be set up too. These men. You should know how Nakash get down by now. Look, we coming into that time, man. They're gonna do order out of KO. This may be a psyop, bro. These might be paid actors and shit in the midst of all this, man, trying to, cause commotion, cause confusion. Hey, man, it's a lot going on, bro. I wouldn't be surprised, man. I'm in Babylon.
And calling in the National Guard without direct request from a state's governor is extremely rare. KPRC2's Mario Diaz is live downtown with more on that approach. Mario.
And it is approach, Lisa, that it is legal. And that's an important issue to bring up here, that it is legal to take this step. Keep in mind, the governors of most states have control of the National Guard, which is why you see the name Texas National Guard, California National Guard, right? Because it's part of that state. The governor does control it, but the complete and total control, well, that lies in Washington, D.C., which allows the federal government to actually say, hey, we want to send in the National Guard if they feel the civil unrest is too much or the safety risk too great to the public, for that the local authorities simply cannot handle it.
The local police, the local sheriffs, they're really the first line in defending buildings, defending property.
But in Los Angeles, President Donald Trump felt there was no more defense. So he took a rare but legal step of sending in the National Guard for law and order, a step that President Lyndon B. Johnson of Texas took in 1965 during the 5-day Selma March, only he did it for the defense of civil rights. Two presidents, two different political parties, same rare approach.
It is certainly unique in a historical context, but we also don't know what those communications were or how they may have broken down.
Ryan Patrick was the U.S. Attorney based in Houston during the peaceful George Floyd March 5 years ago. It was a massive demonstration that Patrick recalls well.
I was in constant communication with our major and even smaller city police chiefs, sheriffs, the state police, our National Guard. We were in communication the entire time to make sure that there were not these holes that could create other problems.
But when problems do escalate to a certain point, the calling for the National Guard brings with it an additional layer that makes a situation like the one in LA even more complex.
It is as much a safety issue as it is a political issue. So at what point do the chiefs, the sheriffs, federal law enforcement on the ground start getting that message to the state governor saying we're going to need assistance, or that decision simply being made in Washington, which again is as much a public safety call as it can be a political call.
And speaking of political calls, I had one about 90 minutes ago with the man who calls that building behind me, Houston City Hall, his business office, and that is Mayor John Whitmire. We talked about the situation in LA. He says that he and obviously HPD and others have been seeing what they have captured on the news there, but he also said that in Houston we're much different. As he pointed back to the George Floyd protest, it was a very peaceful march. Houstonians do know how to show their opposition and demonstrate differently and demonstrate proper procedures here. They do it respectfully. And he highlighted the fact there was a demonstration yesterday here in Montrose with HPD helping out in that demonstration and marching, or actually, I should say, guiding the marchers as they made their way through the streets. I bring this up because there is a planned march for Saturday, a National Day of Marches, according to law enforcement experts that I've spoken with. We'll have more on that taking place here in Houston coming up at 4:30. That's the very latest. In downtown at City Hall, Mario Diaz, KPRC 2 News.
ED has affected my confidence. My wife, Sherry, says it doesn't.
More unrest today in California
Next
after
one,
a week.
This one's 4 minutes long. Let me go ahead and get a precept. You know what I'm saying? We in them times. These are the we're I mean we know this is what's going on is prophetic, man. Let me see. Let me see real quick, because there's gonna be more of this going on. Second Edges 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. We in them times. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. See, the king told us before already. Rumors of wars and commotions. Nation shall rise against nation. The Lord's going to set Egyptian against Egyptian. Right? Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Yeah, the king is visiting this place, man. It's about that time for the Lord to work, man. You see, it's about that time, man. Satan is divided against Satan. How is his rulership going to stand? How? It cannot stand but have an end. Truly, it's divisions on all levels. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, uproars of the people in the world, that's going to go on a global scale real soon. Don't worry, it's going to escalate, man. Because this place is getting exposed by the day, by the hour, bro. Then shalt thou understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning, right, and an end, right? We at the end of an eon. And the end is manifest. It's manifest.
Weekend of clashes between demonstrators and authorities over immigration raids. Tanya Backus joins us live from LA in just a moment. But first, CBS Philadelphia's Joe Holden is live on Independence Mall, where demonstrators are gathering as we speak. Good evening, Joe.
Don, good evening. So we are in the shadow of Independence Hall as a peaceful demonstration is now dwindling. They overtook the southeast corner of 6th and Market a short time ago with messages of solidarity for the unfolding situation there in Los Angeles, California. Let's go ahead and take you up to Chopper 3. You see the crowd and what remains of it. At the height of this demonstration, there were easily several dozen on that corner with signs. They never left the corner. Philadelphia Police Civil Affairs Unit there keeping an eye on things and on demonstrators and on protesters. Most of their chants were about freeing a man that ICE has detained. This has become a flashpoint, certainly in Los Angeles. All day, I've worked my sources, as we can show you some video from on the ground as we listen to the chants and hear people calling for this man to be freed. As I've been saying, working my sources to determine where protests might happen. This one's scheduled just after noon today. Again, it has been peaceful in nature. And in fact, at one point, just about 15 minutes ago, the organizers of the protest over Bullhorn said that they thanked folks for joining them and that they wish them a good night. So once again, it's been peaceful. Philadelphia police have been in a quote-unquote stand-down mode. Most of the bicycle patrol unit is directly beneath me here, just hanging out. So again, things peaceful here on Independence Mall. We're live. This is Joe Holden, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Well, peaceful, that is good news, Joe. Thank you. Meanwhile, Los Angeles is bracing for more possible protests after some isolated clashes yesterday with police turned violent.
Well, let's get to CBS News correspondent Tanya Backus. She is joining us live from Los Angeles with the very latest on what's happening there.
And good evening to you both. As you guys just mentioned and what you just showed in your area, we're having the same types of peaceful protests here in downtown Los Angeles. I could say there are a couple of dozen folks that are here. This group has actually grown within the last hour, and we're seeing scenes like this one pop up in a handful of locations across the city.
Small groups of protesters took to the streets again in Los Angeles as tensions run high following a weekend of protest over immigration raids across the city. While demonstrations were largely peaceful, there were also isolated clashes with police. Some protesters threw rocks at law enforcement and set cars on fire. Demonstrators also shut down the busy 101 freeway through downtown LA. On Saturday, President Trump ordered the deployment of 2,000 National Guard troops and put Marines at Camp Pendleton on standby against the wishes of local and state leaders.
I'm here today because on Friday, ICE kidnapped my brother, Jose Paulino, along with his co-workers.
Families of detainees gathered outside one of the sites ICE agents raided, begging for the release of their loved ones.
My siblings, ranging from the ages of 4 months and 20 years, need and want our father back.
I was hoping to prevent this situation from happening. It's the last thing our city needs.
This is the first time since 1965 a president has activated a state's National Guard without a request from the governor. Governor Gavin Newsom has accused President Trump of trying to manufacture a crisis to create chaos.
Today, the state of California filed suit against the Trump administration.
Since Trump announced his plan to deploy troops, the situation on the ground has escalated quickly.
The president is standing by his decision to deploy troops.
People that are causing the problem are professional agitators, they're insurrectionists, they're bad people, they should be in jail.
CBS News has learned ICE operations are expected in Los Angeles County for at least the next 30 days.
National Guard troops and local law enforcement are deployed across the city. There have been a total of 53 arrests stemming from the protests over the weekend. Reporting live from Los Angeles, I'm Danya Backus. Natasha, back to you.
All right, Danya, thank you so much. Now, as Los Angeles braces for more possible unrest, stay with CBS Philadelphia both on air and online. That's where you can find a live stream from KCAL News, our sister station out there in Los Angeles.
Okay. One more precept, you know, because this precept right here speaks volumes, and it's going to continue to speak. It's going to continue to speak real quick. Isaiah 19:2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
California now, police arresting at least 36 people after incidents of violence and looting in anti-ICE protests in Los Angeles. On Saturday, President Trump ordered 2,000 National Guard troops to patrol.
This is the first time since 1965 a president has called in the military without a governor's approval. Oh, that's tough. Yeah.
The city without approval from the governor. Danya Backus has the latest now from LA.
Tensions are running high in Los Angeles following a weekend of protests over immigration raids across the city.
I mean, and once again, bro, why is the Northern Kingdom being targeted, bro? Why is the so-called Chinese man not being targeted? Why is the so-called African man, the Hamites? What about the dusty-ass Ishmaelites? Why are they not being thrown into trucks and sent over to FEMA camps and shit like that? Why, you know what I'm saying? Why is it the Northern Kingdom, bro? Why is Jake being targeted? Because this is the beginning of JT. It's just gonna escalate. Yo, like a chipmunk.
While demonstrations were largely peaceful, there were also isolated clashes with police. Some protesters threw rocks at law enforcement and set cars on fire. Demonstrators also shut down the busy 101 freeway through downtown LA. On Saturday, President Trump ordered the deployment of 2,000 National Guard troops and put Marines at Camp Pendleton on standby against the wishes of local and state leaders.
I'm here today because on Friday, ICE kidnapped my brother, Jose Paulino, along with his co-workers.
Families of detainees gathered outside one of the sites ICE agents raided, begging for the release of their loved ones.
My siblings, ranging from the ages of 4 months and 20 years, need and want our father back.
I was hoping to prevent this situation from happening. It's the last thing our city needs.
This is the first time since 1965 a president has called in the military without a governor's approval. Governor Gavin Newsom accused the president of trying to manufacture a crisis to create chaos. He vowed to sue.
It's immoral. You're creating the conditions that you claim you're solving, and you're not. And you're putting real people's lives at risk.
Today, the president doubled down on his decision to deploy troops.
People that are causing the problem are professional agitators, they're insurrectionists, they're bad people, they should be in jail.
CBS News has learned ICE operations are expected in Los Angeles County for at least the next 30 days. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's it on that, bro. You know, shit on that. It's a lot going on, man, and it's just gonna intensify, bro. You know, so we're just gonna keep watching, see what's going on, and yeah, we'll see what happens, man. So, you know, Barak Yahweh Shai, you know, Shalom to the elect.